In this video, we're going to go through the shutdown and backup procedure for the ZedaSoft RDS Reconfigurable desktop system. First step in the process is to turn off the computers. And since the Windows IG systems depend on the NAS, we have to shut them down first. We'll do that from the SimHost console here. We'll go to the control menu on the CBA launcher panel and select remote desktops. We get a panel here that lets us connect to each of the IG systems. I'll select IG Center to connect to the IG Center system, and then I will go and shut it down using the normal Windows interfaces. I've already turned off the left, right, and top channels. Once all the IG systems are powered down, then I can power down the NAS. I do that by selecting NAS on this system. I shut down the NAS. It takes a bit longer. It shuts down more services. And once it's off, I can shut down the Linux SimHost system using this power icon in the top right, and then the other power icon there in that menu, and power off. With the computer shut down, we're ready to power down and disconnect the computer rack. So we'll start by unplugging the power. We'll take off the power for the station. We'll unplug the power to the rack. And we can take the power cables, line them up. And those will store inside the rack. Next, we disconnect every cable from the network switch for shipping. Since these are all labeled, we'll be able to put them back in the correct ports when we reinstall. Disconnect every one. And then we disconnect all of the cables that come from the station cables bundle. When we do this, we leave every other cable that's connected to the computers inside attached. So we have HDMIs going to the Windows systems. So we can kind of gather up the cable ends here, confirm that we've gotten them all. Disconnect this Velcro keeper here. We can set that aside. Kind of tuck the cables in here a little bit, and we're ready to install the rack door. The handles on this are on the low end, so this is the right side up. Slide the bottom in first, match up the edges. Sometimes you have to wiggle it around a bit. Latches, and repeat for the other side. So now I'm going to close up the front of the computer rack. I'll start by locking in the pull-out console by turning this key to the left. Then I disconnect all of the license dongles and store those in the toolkit, and I'm ready to install the rack door. Plug in first, line up the edges, and close the latches. Now we're going to disassemble the back of the station. So we remove the 6 screws from this back panel. I've already removed the other 4. Take those screws, set them aside, set the panel, take off the back top by just lifting straight up. Then we disconnect every cable that's plugged into the patch panel from the top, leaving the bottom side connected. You free up the cable bundle by using the Velcro strain relief. Put that aside. And we disconnect the speakers. These cables come off completely. We'll set those aside for repacking in their original box. And take the station power cable, fold it up, and store it in the cable bundle strain relief holder. Now we disconnect all the cables from the monitors, so each one has video and power. For the side monitors, we bring these cables back to the inside of the structure for shipping. These all hang on their keepers here. And then lastly, we go underneath and disconnect all the cables from the bottom of the touchscreen. Now we'll disconnect the peripherals from the front of the station. We'll start with the HOTAS. On the front of the stick is the connector coming from the throttle, so we unscrew that and remove it. Then we take the stick off, again with the flat bladed screwdriver in the Zeus fasteners. We turn a quarter turn counterclockwise to release them. Pull straight up on the stick, pull the cables through. Set that aside for repacking in the case. And repeat for throttle. Pull the cable through the hole, set it aside. Set aside the keyboard and mouse as well. We take the keyboard tray off by removing the screw-in knobs in the front. Lift the tray straight off. Turn it upside down. Store it in the top of the case. And then we replace the knobs in the holes on the HOTAS hangers. Before removing the screens, we need to prepare the side screens by loosening the adjustment screw so that the monitor comes back in contact with the frame, and then pulling the entire thing to the side until it stops, and we'll repeat for the other side. Now we're ready to remove the screens. So just like when we installed, we just lift straight off, turn the screen face down, slide it into the case. 2 pieces of foam, Slide those in on either side. Push them in until they're flush with the face. Center screen. Left. Finally, the touch screen. This one is a good bit heavier than the others. You can grip it by the hangers, put it in face down, and then the foam for the touch screen is slightly different. You can see that it has touch screen written on the pieces. Now we're ready to disassemble and fold up the station for packing. The first thing we want to do is drive the monitor adjustment screws all the way in so they don't fall out during shipping. And when that's done, we just fold the side monitor holder in that way. Do the same thing over here. Drive that all the way in. Fold it in that holder. Then to fold up the top monitor rack, we loosen all 4 of these knobs on both sides. And also the friction lock knob here. With all those loose, this just folds back. We retighten the knobs. Now we're ready to take off the HOTAS hangers.
Velcro.
We disconnect these knobs here. And we turn the hanger around and line it up with the screws on the inside to store for shipping. Repeat for the other side. And then lastly, we install some Velcro between the side monitor mount and the top monitor mount so that this can't bounce around during shipping. Repeat for the other side. And then lastly, we're going to bring the feet back up so the station is back on the rolling casters. 4 wheels. And the station is packed up and ready to go in the case. Next, we store the cable bundle, keyboard and mouse, and speakers in the case. So here on the monitor side, in the top shelf above the keyboard tray, we store cable bundle, speakers, keyboard and mouse. That's everything for this side, so we can close it up. Close the latches. And then we'll turn the case around to load up the other side. On this side, we open the latches again. Open the door. Remove the bungee from the ramp. Let the ramp down slowly. It's a bit heavy. Watch your feet. Remove the front foam. You can take the HOTAS box. Store in this side slot. We'll throw a piece of packing foam, and we're ready to roll the station into the case. The wheels set on the ramp. Over the ramp. Lift the wheels over the hinge. Turn the casters in so that the wheels don't interfere with the door. This piece of foam goes in between the station and the cabinet. And the front foam, the wider part at the top. Hold on to the bungee, keep the foam in place. Close the ramp. The bungee hook into the hole on the ramp. Close the door. And the entire station is ready for shipping.